YouTube. I just wanted to pop on and make a quick video because I was sitting here going through my seeds and realized that I hadn't given an update on what my favorite tomatoes that I grew last year, and I think I've decided on which ones that I'm just never gonna grow again for sure. There's 2 or 3 that I've tried several years, and especially last year they just did horrible. I'm gonna start with the ones that I don't plan on growing again, and number 1 would be Costaluda Genovese. Every time I've grown these plants, they are riddled with disease, blight, and even if the plant right next to it is super healthy, they don't do well. I don't know if it's because we have such wet weather here, and I don't know what it is that causes that specific variety to just not do well. Maybe it's just me. But not only were they really full of disease, which also causes the healthy plants beside of it to get sick, I didn't care for the shape of the ones that I got. Now, they did have plenty of fruit. The fruit did look diseased, and they were pretty small. They weren't really big enough to make slices like for a sandwich, and they are a rigid type of tomato, and it's really hard to cut. I mean, if you want to can it, bugs can get in there and cause rotting spots. Another one that I don't really want to grow again would be the yellow pear, because they split so bad. I got maybe 5 that were not split, and you can still eat them when they split, but you need to eat them that day or they're gonna go bad. One that I was not impressed with that I really thought I would be, and let me see if I have the seeds laying here. So these were the yellow pear. Another one that I don't want to grow again would be the carbon tomato, which I had high hopes for, and maybe it was just my luck, but I didn't like the flavor of this one. It was really bland. Now, it could be different from year to year, from person to person, from garden to garden, so I don't know. You don't have to take my word on that. It was a really pretty tomato, but I did not like the flavor. But I do want to talk about the ones that I will grow this year again, and probably every year from now on. The number 1 that I will grow from now on in my garden every single year is going to be the Paul Robeson tomato. It has just an unmatched flavor. I've never had a tomato that is this delicious. The tomato, I don't know if I want to say this, the tomato plant that impressed me the most this past year was the Ivan tomato, which has a really cool story. You should look it up. This tomato plant I had to use like 3 different stakes for because it got massive. And I didn't super hard prune my plants this year, so I think it had about 3 different leaders on it. But I mean the stems, it grew so fast. Thank you, Boogie. The plant grew so fast, and it got giant. Biggest tomato plant that I've ever had. And it was covered in tomatoes, and they were really good. The other one that super duper impressed me was the Berry's Crazy Cherry. And not just because it had an insane amount of tomatoes on it, but this was one of the most delicious cherry tomatoes in general that I've ever had in my life. I will grow these every year from now on. This one was the most fun because we had it next to our chicken coop, and we had little baby ducks this past year. And I'll put in some pictures and videos, but this fed our little baby ducks. And it had a ton of tomatoes on it, and so this was perfect for giving the little baby ducks a snack right out of the garden. I don't even know if I got one of those tomatoes. These were delicious. The chocolate cherry, I will grow those again. The triple crop definitely had a lot of fruit on it, and they were really pretty, perfectly round. This is a classic. Love these. They were beautiful. These were also really pretty. A couple of tomatoes that I don't have seed packets for because they came in little clear baggies was the chocolate stripes tomato. That one was beautiful. I'll put up a picture. It was delicious. One of the best tasting tomatoes I've ever had. This might be second place to the Paul Robeson as far as flavor from last year, but the Isis Candy Cherry Tomato, and when it said cherry, I was expecting it to be really small. They were like this big. They were almost like a saladette size tomato. Delicious, beautiful, early fruiting, highly suggest. Another one that I'll probably grow this year is the Abe Lincoln. It had good flavor, just a classic tomato. Plants got really big. This one was a favorite because I gave a lot of tomatoes away. Again, I'll put up pictures. I had so many tomatoes. It was ridiculous. Not complaining. Loved it. I think I have to thank the goat poop that I put in the garden, the compost, for that one. But the Tigerellas, they produced a ton. Flavor wasn't anything super special, but they were really pretty. This is the most interesting flavored tomato I've ever had. Delicious, loved it. Will absolutely grow it again. I've grown this one every year for the last like 3 or 4 years. It is the Golden King of Siberia. It's because it's a really thick, meaty tomato, and I like to use it whenever I'm canning. And one that I bought that I'm going to try to grow this year that I have not had is going to be the Black from Tula tomato. I just thought that it looked delicious. Jumping back to my seeds that I grew last year, I was looking through the ones that don't have pictures, and I was looking at the ones that I saved because obviously I liked them if I'm saving the seeds. Now this one is from the year before last, but the Dr. Witchies, I do enjoy that tomato. It's not as good as the Paul Robeson, but everybody likes a yellow tomato, so that's a good one to grow, a good yellow slicer. I saved some Paul Robeson seeds. All my tomato plants were planted super close together last year, so this could end up being a cross. Might be a really good cross, I don't know. And another one of my favorites that I will grow every single year is the Aunt Ruby's German green tomato. It is a giant tomato that stays green even when it's ripe. Delicious flavor, huge. Biggest tomato probably that I've ever grown. It was like this big. Other than, I think, the German pink or Brandywine. Now, I ordered a bunch of tomato seeds from various sites it was in the middle of the summer, and obviously it was too late for me to start tomato seeds. I never got anything off of them, but I wanted to show you what I got and what I'm going to try to grow. I think this year I'm going to limit the cherries and the slicers, and I'm going to do more paste tomatoes because I really want to do a lot more canning. And you can can with cherries and slicers, but you're not going to get a whole lot of sauce or anything like that. But anyway, I don't remember where I got these from. It was I don't remember, so I do apologize. I cannot say these names. But I think this is a paste tomato. Banana Legs is a yellow paste tomato. Big Ray's Argentinian is a paste tomato. Buratino, they gifted me Aroma, and I am not going to try to say this one either, but it is more than likely also a paste tomato. And then I have these, which I did start a bunch of these last year, but I don't know if a couple of them, I don't think a couple of them made it to fruit. Some of them might have died in seed trays, and I hate when that happens, but you know, life gets to you sometimes and it happens. But I got Homestead, which is a classic red tomato. Now this is one that did make it to fruit, and again, I'll put up a picture of the chocolate stripes. Amazing. It's one of the coolest looking tomatoes I've ever grown. Moneymaker, another classic red slicer. Also, these are all heirlooms, I do believe. All of these are heirlooms. And I thought about experimenting this year with maybe some hybrids to see if I get more, since I'm wanting to put back more food. But I do like the fact that you can save seeds from heirlooms and just the stories behind them and all that stuff. Classic Brandywine Pink, very similar to the German Pink. Gold medal. I don't remember what this one is. And then the Aunt Ruby's German green, which this is the reason that I placed the order, and then I ended up getting all those seeds because you can't just buy one pack of seeds. It's addictive. I can't believe it's already time to start seeds again. I'm probably gonna start peppers soon. Cool weather veggies. I don't know that I'm gonna try cabbage this spring. I might try it this fall. I think at the end of the seasons, we all get kind of, you know, burn out on the garden, I would say, and it's hard to think about a fall garden. And I think that is what happened to me this last fall, because I didn't have it in me at the time to plant a fall garden. But I really want to fill up my green stalk with some lettuce and kale, Swiss chard, and stuff like that, and get a few things planted in my raised beds that might be able to be pulled out before it's time to put in warm weather veggies. Like I got some seeds on clearance at the feed store that were last year's seeds for $1, giant bags, okay, like this big, of peas and purple top turnips, and then a bag of corn, I think. But they were $1, you know. I couldn't help myself. Which I don't know. I'm not really grown corn all that much. And that's not a cold weather veggie, but it was just what I got that day. But anyway, I'm chasing squirrels. I am going to be planting some peas in my raised beds along the trellis, because I'm hoping that they'll be done by the time I want to put in anything else. I should probably just do snap peas. I won't be able to plant enough in those raised beds to get a whole like serving of green peas. You know what I mean? But we'll see. I've got other things planned for this spring. And you know how it is on a homestead when springtime rolls around and you have all these big ideas. We are going to be adding another animal to the homestead this year, and I'm not going to spoil it yet. But I've been building houses and feeders and all kinds of stuff. So that's exciting. I think we're going to switch our chicken setup we got around a little bit. They've all been free ranging this winter, but we can't have them free ranging in the spring and summer because they destroy the garden. And I think what we're wanting to do is turn the run that we have out here, split it up, and I think we want to breed some silkies and some Polishes because we have a good assortment of Polish hens. We got to find a rooster, and we just love silkies. They're so cute. And I know they're kind of useless other than being cute and selling the eggs for hatching, but we just love hatching chicks, and they're adorable. Who doesn't love a little tiny silkie? But we're going to be putting our main egg layers, I think, in a mobile coop and moving them around the yard along with the geese, maybe. And we might just let the ducks free range. Depends. It depends if I can keep them out of the garden, because they do love digging in the mud, just like any other poultry. So that is the plan. I just wanted to pop on here and make a quick video. Let me know what seeds you're ordering. I know this is another tomato seed video. I am going to make another video on what I plan to be planting in the gardens this year. So yeah, let me know. What are you growing? What tomatoes what tomatoes were your favorite last year and then this year? Because I would love to know. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.